host of The Dirty Pleasure Show with The Dirty Pleasure Show. Now we are live. You can go to the store and be sure to unlock the 10% discount when you subscribe to the newsletter. We've got a catalog full of goodies for you. We've got 2 bundles that you want to check out, the Hot Auntie Starter Kit as well as the Dirty Bag Swag. We've got a little bit of something for everybody on this website. You can also find our social media links and how to connect with us, as well as if you want to be a guest on the show. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because season 3, if you're seeing this and hearing this, season 3 is right now. So be sure to go to the Dirty Pleasure Show and check out some information about myself, J. Marie Poetry. But you can also get a little bit more detail there and understand a little bit more about maybe stuff I hadn't said. But you can definitely see us on the YouTube channel. You can also see us little snippets here and there on the website, and then you can click on the Hear Us tab. We're on all platforms, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and Spotify, just to name a few. Be sure to go to thedirtypleasureshow.com. Now enjoy the show. Let's get dirty. What is going on, everybody? We are back for another go-round. I'm J. Marie Poetry, and I've got with me my host on the hostess of with the mostest on the road doing the mostest, at least in the driveway doing the mostest. Brandy, go ahead and introduce yourself.
I am Brandy. I am owner of the DK Pleasure Palace and co-host of the Dirty Pleasure Show. So we're going to get started with our next episode. This is going to be a fun one. Right.
Now, did you, I was about to hit the wrong damn thing. Now, hold on. Now, did you, what did you do since the last episode?
I went and saw Mario Brothers. I'm not going to lie. That was a great movie.
Mario Brothers?
Yeah, I went to the movies.
So, well, since the last time, I did some research on the show topic, since it was yesterday, so I didn't really have much going on. But let's talk about this show. We're going to get right into it, okay? No lubrication today. So, this show, okay, I don't know. You was ready? Okay. Your wildest fantasy. So we're going to talk about what your wildest fantasy is, and we're going to bring in our guest, Z, and we'll go ahead and let Brandy not introduce herself, but talk about what her wildest fantasy is to kick off things.
One of my wildest fantasies, honestly, and it's probably basic to a lot of people, but mine is fucking outside. Like, wide open in the park.
You've never done that?
Okay, no. Now I have, but that was
okay.
That was one of them. That was one of them.
Mute yourself. It's gonna be some shit.
But now that I've done it, it's just like I could not get anybody really want to do that, and like that. I did that a few times since that. Yes. And it's good and warm outside again too, so yeah.
My wildest fantasy is probably one I shouldn't have at the age of 40, but I mean, at a certain age, I'll say, is to have a woman eat my pussy. Like, I've never had that happen. But I don't want to be in a female relationship because I feel like I'm not gonna reciprocate this shit. So, bitch, it's just gonna be you doing that to me the whole entire time of our relationship. Because I don't know that I could do that.
Well, would you at least try?
But you can have it done.
Or just...
Absolutely not. No, bitch. No, I don't know, which is why I'm like,
much?
Might have been. So, while we got somebody interjecting, we're going to go ahead and introduce Z to the show. Give us your wildest fantasy.
I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I'm up there in age. I'm knocking on 50, and as a younger dude, I kind of did a lot of the things that I wanted to do. So, like, shit. Now I don't know. My fantasies, they probably seem kind of weird. Like, I want to fuck on a roller coaster or some off the wall shit. But so like, okay, say that to like, not, forgive me for forgetting your name. The BK
You want
play.
to
What
be
is
a
your name?
roller coaster? You call her Brandy B or Brandy, right?
Brandy. Okay.
Yeah,
So
whichever one.
Okay.
right.
Okay.
So I've done it the fucking outside or fucking in public. And like, I want to have a menage a trois or something. Like, I done had a few threesomes. So that's, to me, that was something that's, as a younger cat, I did. Now it's like, that ain't shit. I don't, I ain't lived no porn star life, but that ain't never been a fantasy of mine, so that don't matter.
I'm trying to stay in frame because I keep on leaning like, yeah, right. And then as soon as I say yeah, right, it goes all the way to the left or the right. Okay, so, well, damn. I mean, I don't think we that much older. You ain't got that much age on me. Let me say, without us saying ages, I don't think you got that much age on me, but you've done all that. So your thing would not be, babe, let's do this wild ass shit. Well, the roller coaster sound like some wild ass shit. Like, what if she's afraid of heights?
Some crazy shit. Like, what?
Yeah.
I mean, well, then I mean,
right,
look,
we think about danger.
I mean, I'm not knocking it. It just, I fear for y'all safety. Like,
I'm knocking
that's
this
some
shit.
daredevil shit. That's some daredevil.
I'm just saying,
shit.
we talking about fantasy, and so in my mind, fantasy is like, that's on the border of never happened and may or may not.
Okay.
So, but I mean, shit.
Okay.
You can find something somewhere. It ain't, you know what I'm saying, necessarily got to be the fucking Gemini at Cedar Point or something, but accommodations can be made. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Okay. For a roller coaster.
Look on her face is like,
you know what? We'll just skip past that. We'll skip past that because the roller coaster shit just seemed like that's doing too much.
Some off the.
I hit my mic. I think I hit my mic.
I
think that's doing too much, but I mean, yeah, that's a wild fantasy. But I guess I was thinking more of the ones like that had the possibility of coming true, not necessarily like that it needed to. But let me bring this down some because I feel like my head is cutting.
One, I had another one. I don't think it'll ever happen though. I feel like I'm past that phase. But one of them was to be with a woman. That never. But see, mine are like really basic. It's just.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the wildest. But you know what? I've had guys tell me one of a girl's wildest things is to be with two dudes at one time, and I don't understand why that's why that would be a fantasy for us. Like, why is that?
No.
Has somebody told you that was Z?
No, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I've had a woman tell me that she wanted to be dominated by me and another female, but as far as two dudes, that ain't nothing nobody just came out and said, I want two dudes or, two dicks or no shit. Nah, that ain't never. But y'all have just said, I heard them talking about they want to be another woman.
That sounds really interesting, though.
A dude and another woman.
Okay, so okay. I've had guys tell me that that's what a woman's wildest fantasy is. I'm like, no. Double penetration has never been my cup of tea.
Like I could
been.
see one being dominated by another guy and a girl, by a guy and another girl. That
as a girl, like as a
girl, as a girl having another guy and a girl. Yeah, a guy and a girl. Like where you really have like no control, but
okay.
You know,
have you been halfway a part of that? Have you been halfway a part of something like that, B? I said, have you been halfway a part of that? I was like, damn, did my earphone go out? Why you say, huh?
No, not at all. No.
I've been halfway a part of some shit. I'll leave it there. Been halfway a part of it. Huh? How?
I said, why only?
You cut out.
No, why? Why only half? I think it's a big delay. But that's, yeah.
Why halfway? Because I didn't know that she was participating. This is one situation. I thought she was off in her other space, and she was all in my space. So that's how it was a halfway. Because I was like, wait a minute, his hands is here. What is this up here going on, and what's happening? And then that's when I accounted for 3 hands or 4 hands, and I'm like, my hands is here. What the fuck? And then I opened my eyes and realized, okay, this bitch is doing too much.
Was she hiding under the bed or something?
No.
Like that motherfucker just popped up out of nowhere like pickable.
You off in, no, okay, just picture you. So you off in your zone, whatever you doing, right? Because I don't want to incriminate myself, but whatever you doing, right? You doing what you doing, and somebody decides they want to start participating that wasn't a part of the original plan, and you start coming to your senses or whatever, and you like, hold on, his hands back here, my hands is here. What's up here? Fondling up here, you know, then you put it together. And I put it together, and that's when I was like, no, chill. What? No, you gotta, I'm good. And because I said that, then, you know, it broke it up. So that's why I say halfway. It was a halfway.
Okay, so my question is, what prompted it to the point where you didn't know, like, the 5th and 6th hands were there? Like, you knew that dude was there, but where was she at to where she just popped in and you was like, oh shit,
she was in her
room.
And this was a long time ago, but we were in the center of everything. So she came out and decided to participate, and she shouldn't have, because that was not a conversation we had beforehand, which is why I was like, and then I started to say stuff that I probably shouldn't have said, which I know hurt her feelings, because I'm like, you're not even my type. Why would you touch me?
Like,
I was bad. I was bad when it came to like communicating, you know, in that moment, I'll say. So, so when we talk about have you fulfilled, oh, okay, we might have some answers. We might.
No, I'm still trying to figure how old girl got into the phone. Like, was she this nigga's roommate? Was she his woman, or
no,
you know, was she tucked off from the cut?
I was living with her for a little bit, and I forgot why we were roommates, or like what made us be roommates, but we were roommates. And this was a guy that I was talking to at the time, and I don't know why we had to be where we were, because we could have been in my area, but it was in the living room. So that was that. I might edit this part out.
Yeah, I got questions.
But it was back in the day. It was back in the day.
It was back in the day. It was back in the day.
Was not
We've changed
anything,
and grown a little bit. So
in the last 10 or
Okay.
20 years even, so
yeah.
Okay.
it was
I get
older
you.
than that, or younger than that rather. But so for you, Z, you fulfilled all of your fantasies. So when Ludacris said, what's your fantasy? You've already, that shit is checked off your list.
I mean, yes, as far as like sexual fantasies, yeah, I don't. And I mean, I don't want to sound like
we're not talking about no other kind of fantasy. So you said as far as sexual fantasy,
well,
what's another
yeah.
fantasy?
So yeah. My bad. So edit that part too. Then. No, but I mean, yeah, I have. Yeah. So no, it's like things I haven't done, of course, but as far as like falling under the guise of a fantasy, like nah, like I don't want to be in no fucking 5-person gangbang or no bukkake or no shit like that. That shit, like, I'm straight on being in the room with a bunch of dicks hanging out and shooting everywhere.
Wait.
That shit.
Hold on. The what? The bukkake?
Bukkake.
Bukkake, yeah.
I'm gonna look that up.
Damn, bitch, look it up. So,
I'm about to look it up. Hold on, y'all.
That's a
go
so
ahead
that's
and look it up and break it down to us.
I've never
Y'all
heard
keep
of
talking. I'm gonna look it up while you're doing that too.
Oh my god.
that.
So
So it is a thing, B?
I'm looking it up now.
it's definitely a
I
thing.
don't know how you spell it.
BUO.
Okay.
I don't know.
I believe it.
How do you?
Exactly. This nigga came up here with some hieroglyphic words.
BUKKE. Well, I mean, I'm a little older, so you know what I'm saying. It's certain shit that as an old nigga you don't, you know.
Wait, how? You ain't that much older than me.
Oh,
So how? What era
I'll be 48.
Okay.
But also keep in mind
You do
that
got me beat a little bit.
the geographic
You do got me beat a
location.
little
I'm from
that
Detroit.
is fucking
You know,
nasty.
you feel me? So
Send me the link
I'm good on.
via email.
You want me?
This is your girl, Jamie Reed Poetry, host of The Dirty Pleasure Show with The Dirty Pleasure Show. Now we are live. You can go to the store and be sure to unlock the 10% discount when you subscribe to the newsletter. We've got a catalog full of goodies for you. We've got 2 bundles that you want to check out, the Hot Auntie Starter Kit as well as the Dirty Bag Swag. We've got a little bit of something for everybody on this website. You can also find our social media links and how to connect with us, as well as if you want to be a guest on the show. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because season 3, if you're seeing this and hearing this, season 3 is right now. So be sure to go to the Dirty Pleasure Show and check out some information about myself, J. Marie Poetry. But you can also get a little bit more detail there and understand a little bit more about maybe stuff I hadn't said. But you can definitely see us on the YouTube channel. You can also see us little snippets here and there on the website, and then you can click on the Hear Us tab. We're on all platforms: Amazon, Audible, Apple, and Spotify, just to name a few. Be sure to go to thedirtypleasureshow.com. Now enjoy the show. Let's get dirty.
Read it or just send you the link?
No, yeah, don't
Is it-
read it. It's the podcast.
Read it.
Don't matter what it
fucking
is.
nasty.
Just read it.
Bukkake, or however you say it, is a sex act in which one participant is ejaculated on by multiple participants. It is often portrayed in pornographic film. I
can
That
say
is
that I
fucking
may or
disgusting.
may
I
not
do some
have
nasty
seen
shit. No.
Something like
Oh,
that.
I'm sure you have.
I've seen some instructional video around that area. But I didn't know it was called
that's what we're calling an
Nasty.
instructional video.
Instructional
That was something
video.
that crosses the fucking line. That is
So we're gonna
nasty.
call it an instructional video.
Okay,
So-
we can go with instructional video. I won't argue that.
Okay, so instructional video. I think I've seen that, but I've never known it was called that. So thank you for schooling us. So now,
Just that.
what's another? Let's
She over
say
there
lower
flabbergasted.
lower key, lower. What's the less than wildest fantasy? I guess you say, because you say the wildest. Now, what's the less than wildest? B.
My
Still
less
reading the
than
damn
wildest.
website. That shit gonna give you a virus, okay?
I was on Google. I didn't click nothing. It was the dictionary. Wikipedia popped up.
Okay,
Whatever.
so you
Some
have other kind of pop.
I didn't have
pop
to.
up.
Nope. I didn't have to click shit. A less than wild one.
You said that. Okay, so we said that was your wildest one. So the wildest one is one that's so far.
To me, the less
You
wild
emphasizing.
one would be.
Okay.
It's like when you're giving head and he starts face fucking you. That's my less than wild one. But yeah, we can't ask Google on that one. That is not
Because
going
you
to
choke,
pull up
because you
nothing but
choke,
video.
or so you've
Because
never
you
done that.
Choke.
No, I've done it. I'm just saying that was one of my less than wild ones on the list.
But
You said, so you've never done
lived
that?
out. I'm not saying it like that, but I'm just saying,
I hear
like,
you. What'd you say?
when you say you're less than wildest,
I mean, that's just I got some shit I could say, but we might have to do a part 2 when I'm more comfortable saying that. But I mean, to me, that's one of the less than wild ones, and I actually fulfilled that one too. So it's kind of like, now I just like to think of things and then call them like, hey, let's try this, let's do this. So I'm always coming up with something different.
Like, you don't want to eat your
Okay.
ass with a silly straw or some shit like that?
Absolutely. Now let me tell you what I'm not gonna fucking do. I'm not gonna touch feet. You're not gonna touch my feet. There is nothing anal is happening. Absolutely fucking nothing. There is no fantasy that I can think of that I would no.
I have some girlfriends, and I'm saying girlfriends because they literally are not me, that have been like, no, Jay, you should try it. I'm like, no, I'm good. They like, when the last time you tried it, did you have proper stimulation and lubrication and da da da? And I'm like, it's still not nothing like that I'm interested in. And some women are just, that's their thing, and I'm like, how? But besides that, my less than wildest fantasy has to do with literally like my dude being romantic, but in one of them knight in shining armor type of ways, like some shit like we at the club and you come in, or some dude is trying to talk to me and say some stuff or whatever, and you come in and just amaze everybody. I don't know, it just be some far-fetched, like, yeah, it ain't necessarily not something that could not happen, but is, who you're dealing with type.
Yeah, who you're
like
dealing with.
That fantasy is sick, not sickly, strictly a fantasy in that the person that you're dealing with, ain't gonna be that type of dude. So it's like that's a fantasy. It's like, no.
Mm-hmm.
Now, have you had a fantasy about somebody who is currently taken, or that is not even currently taken, that been taken or whatever, that you be like, shouldn't have?
No.
Oh.
No. Let me stop.
He clicked off the thing. Was that okay? That might have been
in my younger days, yeah. But
okay.
to me, I couldn't imagine it, because if I'm imagining it, then I know I can never have it, because I'm not gonna, I'm not gonna interject to, and I'm just be mad because I can't have it.
Okay, so
not when I'm older, no.
I'm trying to find out what Z went. If he hopped off because of that was a touchy subject and we shouldn't have went there, or I don't know.
That's probably his service.
Back on. Yeah, it probably was. So for me, let me see. Maybe the whole, yeah. Okay, he's coming back in. I said 9th. I meant to say, okay, this phone, fucking phone. I say, okay, it said 69. I'm not even fucking kidding. I was saying, okay, it says 69. I'm like, that's not what I'm saying. So, have I had that? Damn, he hopped off again. So have I had that situation? No, I think it's been about mostly ones who are single. But it's also that dynamic of them being the knight in shining armor to I don't want to say the knight in shining armor. That sounds so literally fantastical. But like that person that comes in. What'd you say, Z?
I said I no signal for whatever is starting. So
that's because the signal knows that you ain't around the kids, so it's like we finna act a fucking fool. So until you get to good Wi-Fi, it's like we ain't about to let you do what you need to do.
My actual work than my Wi-Fi.
So
I think it's because of the my location where I live. My Wi-Fi be acting retarded, but
it does. Okay, because it's picking up now. Let me let him answer that one, because to be fair, we answered ours. And I think he hopped off as soon as that question got asked, right, B?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, have you had a fantasy? Can you hear us?
I can.
Have you had a fantasy about someone who's currently taken? I guess that you say, I don't know if you say that you shouldn't have, because it just depends on your relationship status, but have you?
On that note, yeah.
most guys. Okay. So,
but it was more than just, you know what I'm saying? So more than just one somebody I couldn't have. I was like, it's like I'm not supposed to have. I'm looking.
Ooh, wait. The signal was not letting you talk.
I think we can have like the wildest fantasies, but I think once you start like finding that person to get into relationships, I think it's healthy for y'all to just kind of start making up scenarios together. Like y'all could be watching TV like and see like a sex scene and be like, I always wanted to try that, and y'all go try it. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, I'm a big fan of that when we're just sitting there watching TV, and you're just like, I always wanted to do that. Okay, let's go see. If I think of something wild and I'll text like, hey, I want to try this. We make it. I've seen stuff on my line where I text like, so imagine this. I got this choker on and you did this, that, and the other. And I'm like, if it's a go ahead, I'm going to get, okay, a bet. And when it happens, I'm all about making up scenarios as I go. Because one day it could be wild. The next day it could be kind of mediocre.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think you gotta be dealing with somebody who's willing to
open-minded,
that's not afraid to kind of go there in those different scenarios. So you definitely gotta have somebody who's willing to experiment.
Yeah, I think when you find that person, I think personally, when you find somebody like that to me just makes the sex better, period. Because you guys are always going to come up with some shit. And I think when you get to the point with someone, you're just that comfortable, you're like, hey, I wanted to try this. And you're not really afraid they're going to say no or, let's go. And they actually tried it. I think to me, that makes the sex better, even when it's just a quickie. Like you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because you guys, like, hey, let's try that. And then, you go try it. Or if they say no, you're not going to be offended. You're going to be like, okay, let me think of something else.
Okay. So, I think it makes it interesting. I think maybe one of the let me see. One of the scenarios that, what's the way I want to say it? A situation where someone wants to try out different things, not necessarily positions or whatever, but just different things like the foreplay, the different things like that. Like you come up with a scene where like it's not necessarily foreplay, but it is in terms of there's a lead up. There's some sort of lead up to the finale, if that makes sense. And if that person is willing to kind of role play in that scenario, then I could see that kind of goes into a fantasy when you think about it, because it's something that, okay, let me ask this. Is a fantasy something that can never be done, or is it something that is like a thought that you're trying to manifest with the person that you're with?
I think it's something, it's a thought that you can manifest with the person that you're with. I think, again, it just goes to the level, like, how comfortable are you with them that you won't, like, for me, the things that I want to do, I never spoke up because I'm just like, you're going to think I'm fucking weird or just nasty. But then when you do this nasty shit and they just like, what can you think of next? That type of thing. So it's like, to me, I think it could be attained. You just got to kind of,
right.
Got to kind of make it work, I think. Like, if I know you're gung-ho with most of the stuff, then they start getting comfortable with you telling you what they would like or want to do. Then y'all always coming up with ideas.
Okay, that's. I'm trying to switch the screen here. There we go, so we can be a little bit more symmetrical. That I definitely think it depends on who you with and how they feel about playing out those different things. Because sometimes a fantasy can be something so outlandish, like you want Idris Elba to come swoop you up at the club. After your dude breaks up with you, like you level up and that's your level up. So Idris Elba type of nigga comes and he's wooing you and all this other stuff. And you're like, oh, who? The last person you was with, who? And then that person comes and swoops you up and this is so romantic thing, whatever. Sometimes people fantasies are like that. And you can't really play that one out because, that indicates there's an end of a relationship and that kind of thing. So That's not necessarily a fantasy. So let me see. Okay, so
how comfortable are you asking your partner or friend or whoever? How comfortable are you asking them about their fantasies, and like what's a fantasy that they could come up with if you're just like, hell no?
I don't want to incriminate myself.
Okay.
Let me see. I don't think he's ever shared. Yeah, Z is gonna have to hop on, go in the house. I don't think he's ever shared with me anything like that right now, and it's not an old relationship, but it's not a super new relationship either. So what I can say is we've never got to that point where we've talked about fulfilling each other's fantasies. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you deal with. Sometimes I think it depends. I'm trying to think of how to say this. Let me see. Sometimes you deal with somebody who doesn't like to think about the fantasy piece to it, and they just want to think about what really is the situation and what really is the case, and they don't have that sort of imagination that you have. So sometimes that can kind of stifle your latitude with the fantasy, depending on how high you go with it or how far you go with it. I think but I also haven't been somebody vocal to kind of talk about what my fantasies are, because I think more realistic. Like, for instance, Z with the fucking what did he say?
This is the roller coaster.
The roller coaster, like, I don't be thinking of shit that's not safe these days. And I think back in the day, I probably would be thinking about, I want to be on the Eiffel Tower, bitch. And then you realize, like, no, your fear of heights might fuck up that whole experience. And where you think you might be Niagara Falls, you're going to be the Sahara Desert, because your emotions is going to be so fucked up with being in that situation that you may not be able to turn off, your fear of heights to do that. And being outside on the high rise or something like that, like, your fear of people seeing you might stop that.
You know what, though? Speaking of high rises, I want to fuck up on the balcony one day. On vacation, I don't care who the fuck sees me. I don't care.
See, in another, okay. So, in another state where I know, like, I don't live there, so I don't have to accidentally run into these motherfuckers. But if it's a situation where I'm in the same place, it's kind of like you don't shit where you eat, or what is that term? And maybe that's the thing.
You don't know,
shit where you
eat
sleep,
where you shit or something.
Or something.
You don't eat where you shit. Something like that. Either way, you don't want somebody to come to your job like,
I saw you on the balcony. Wasn't you on the balcony over on said
you like,
street?
no, like, yeah, you are, because they had the same afro you have.
Exactly. You had a little defined. No, bitch, I don't know what you're talking about. Leave me alone. No.
Yep.
So, I think probably stuff like that could be played out in another. like on vacation or
Yeah.
somewhere where you know it's a 99.9% chance nobody is going to run into you again. Now, if it happens that somebody runs into you again, then that's
I mean, just look at him like, you know what? I'm grown. I'm grown. You grown. You saw what it was. I was there, so I knew what it was. Keep it moving.
Exactly. Be like, I don't know. Or me, I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't talk about, but you know, some of them like to be adamant.
Like, why was you there looking at it? Like, oh,
right. Like, I mean, how much did you see? Like,
yeah,
they can pretend like they discussed it by it, but they watched the whole thing.
Exactly. They knew all of your moves, all of everything. Mm-hmm. So, let me see. So to not incriminate you. Have you ever gone into a situation where the person that you were dealing with tried to do something with you that that's what I'm talking about? Okay. Now we good. And this is your girl, Jamie Reed Poetry, host of The Dirty Pleasure Show with The Dirty Pleasure Show. Now we are live. You can go to the store and be sure to unlock the 10% discount when you subscribe to the newsletter. We've got a catalog full of goodies for you. We've got 2 bundles that you want to check out, the Hot Auntie Starter Kit, as well as the Dirty Bag Swag. We've got a little bit of something for everybody on this website. You can also find our social media links and how to connect with us, as well as if you want to be a guest on the show. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because season 3, if you're seeing this and hearing this, season 3 is right now. So be sure to go to the Dirty Pleasure Show and check out some information about myself, Jamie Marie Poetry. But you can also get a little bit more detail there and understand a little bit more about maybe stuff I hadn't said. But you can definitely see us on the YouTube channel. You can also see us little snippets here and there on the website, and then you can click on the Hear Us tab. We're on all platforms, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and Spotify, just to name a few. Be sure to go to thedirtypleasureshow.com. Now enjoy the show. Let's get dirty. And nigga. Okay, I was saying just going. Okay.
So we gonna smoke. I hope that's not a problem.
That's not a problem. Just don't burn yourself up on the TV show. On the podcast, and we good.
No,
I'm about to switch to my computer. I'll be right back. Y'all keep talking.
Okay, because you about to act like an old ass, old ass person. It seemed like. Okay, so what is Brandy switching to her laptop? I think. So
okay, give me 1 second. I'm here.
Okay. So what is your? What were we talking about? Let's see.
That was on some fantasy shit.
Yeah. Have you? We still on that. So have you had somebody try to? I don't want to say pull out because that kind of sounds different.
Right.
Use a fantasy or try to pursue a fantasy with you. Where you was like, whoa, wait a minute. You doing too motherfucking much.
No. I never had an instance where anybody, like, I can kind of see where that's going. And like, when it comes to me and like fantasy stuff like that, like, I don't know. I'm the fantasy game. That's for me. Like, if you got fantasies, we may or may not fulfill them, but if it got to do with me, like, that shit 100% run through me. So
so
it's kind of a double standard.
We did talk about the idea that have you shared with someone you're dealing with the fantasies and reciprocated that same? Well, you said you've lived out your fantasies. So let me just say, have you said something to a woman that was your fantasy where she was like, hell no, nigga, we not doing that, and you be like, okay, cool. Never mind.
Nope.
You know, it was too far.
No, that's that never happened. Because like I said, with as far as me for fantasies or shit like that, anything like that I wanted to live out, that was kind of in my heyday when I was a younger nigga. So it's like now, any of that fantasy shit is you know, kind of, it's I lived it. So I'm like,
well,
really
okay,
not
let's talk about your heyday. Well, let's talk about your heydays though. So back in your heydays,
now I feel old as shit.
Well, you the one that's talking like that. So back in your heydays, that's what we gonna say. Back in your heydays, did you have a situation where you told? Huh? Say it again.
Back in late 19,
18 and 19. That's when you lived out all your fantasies?
1900.
No, okay. So
no, yeah.
Back in your heyday,
it's a delay on yours from mine.
No, it's a delay on you. I'm pretty sure. Brandy, can you see everything good?
No,
I see everything fine.
You said is lined up. I think it's a delay coming to you, but yours is not line. And I can hear both.
You can hear both of us. Okay. So just try to speak in sign language then. Okay, nope, here we go. We got you in real time now. Okay, so back in your heydays, did you bring up a situation to a woman that she was like, hell no, we not doing that, like, and declined you because of maybe it was outlandish to her or anything like that? Soon as Jesus on the get the bicycle.
Well, while we trying to get him together, I'm gonna talk about some scenarios I came up with, right?
Okay.
So, you know, for my thing with my line, when I talk to customers about my product, I try to, instead of just saying I sell this toy, I'm like, check it out. This toy with this body wash, you know, this will get the scent going for you with these handcuffs, blindfolded. I always try to make up scenario to be like, okay, my fantasy might actually be yours. You're just scared to say something. Okay, so let me tell you something. You like that type of stuff? Like, I just told a girl the other day, you know, she actually had a domination fantasy that she wanted too. And I'm just like, if you're tied up in the sex swing while he's sitting down there eating you out, and then when you know, he don't stop. You can't move. He don't stop. So now he done taking you to a whole nother level because he's sitting down there for like almost an hour type stuff. You know what I mean? So it's just like, you know, I'm not saying he would do an hour, but, you know, pushing you past your limit. You don't have a choice, but you have to take it consensually.
Have you ever been ate out for a whole hour?
Well, no, I'm not saying that's possible. I'm not saying that's possible. I'm not saying that's impossible. I've never.
You're not saying it's impossible?
I'm not saying it's impossible.
Hour. That's a lot.
No, it's not. But that's the point. Even though you've already came 1, 2, 3 times, just keep going. And you have no choice but just to keep coming because you can't move. You can't push them off of you.
Well, and I don't. Okay. Oh, I'm not gonna ask that question. That's a whole nother show for a whole nother topic.
You know, I'm just saying this. Just scenarios. We'll save that for the show on scenarios.
Yeah, because outside of all jokes aside, outside of the realm of rape, outside of that, so we're not talking about that. In other words, so in a situation where you can't get him off of you, but it's good, it's not bad, so it's not.
No, it's all good. That's why I said consensually. That's why I said, but that might be a girl's fantasy for that to happen. So when you incorporate items into that fantasy where you can make it come to fruition, that's why I say consensually, because that might be her fantasy, that might be his, and she's agreed to it, or vice versa. So nothing's bad or just being taken. It's just the fact of that could be someone's type of fantasy that as couples or as partners, whatever, y'all agreed upon.
I've had situations happen to me. Okay, let me ask this. Have you had a situation happen to you that now has become your fantasy? Meaning, I don't know if you say it become your fantasy, but it becomes the bar that now you like measure other situations too. Okay.
Maybe when I was out there with more than one partner, maybe. But I mean, now if it's just one person, I mean, again, maybe in my younger years, and now, you know.
I'm sorry. It's
because
it's not you,
if it's
a drink. Ugh. Sorry.
But
go ahead.
No, not really. Not now, no.
So for me, one time, I think I'm gonna get in trouble for saying this, but I'm gonna say it. One time I was climbing the walls, literally like climbing the walls, trying to get away, get his mouth off of me. But then that became like the bar. Like, if I'm not climbing the wall, you ain't doing shit. If I'm not climbing walls, you not doing shit. Just like if he ain't grasping for shit that don't exist when I'm giving head, then I ain't doing shit. We talked about this. Sorry, Z. We talked about this on another episode, so you know, this might be kind of like, wait a minute, whoa, what?
But I think it's safe to say, if you're the one doing that to him, judging by how his body reacts, you might be the new bar. You can tell if you're the new bar. I'll say that. But that's with anybody, a man or woman. You're gonna do, but judging by how whoever you're with doing that, judging by their reaction, you'll know you're the bar. You're the one. Yeah, you become the standard.
Okay.
That might not always be the case, but more than likely, if they're just, I mean, you can just tell they've had. You can just tell.
Never had. Okay.
You can just tell. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm saying you will become that standard. Now you got to keep yourself at that standard. You can't stop because you reached that one time, but you'll know.
You gotta. It's like a recipe. You gotta know what the fuck you put in that dish to make that dish again, or the dish ain't gonna be shit come next time. So you gotta pay attention. So, now we got Z back. So the question to you we're gonna pose to you is: back in your heydays, you said nobody has ever declined you on reaching one of your fantasies?
No, because it was, for me, it was kind of you want to do that? Okay, I'm down. So I don't know if it was a fantasy for them or me, but it's like, well, shit, get your girl in here, see if she down with it. And she's like, okay, fuck it. So that could have been something that her and her girl was used to doing already.
Okay, but it was a fantasy for you, and it just so happened that they were down with it, so it was easily to fulfill. So, have you ever ran into a situation that wasn't?
Well, when I was younger, you know what I'm saying? But like when you 17, 18, 19, of course, you're going to try things to see how far you can push it. You know what I'm saying? What she will and won't do. So, yeah, it was,
So, question, what have you tried when you say you pushed the envelope? What have you tried where somebody was like, no.
I mean, that wasn't nothing major. It was more or less just like 2 chicks and 1 dude, or that's really basically it. it wasn't never,
We talk about
it wasn't
threesomes
no
like
roller
it's
coaster shit.
it's not a big deal. Like we old motherfuckers now at this point, so it's just hey, if you done it, if you not done it, then I don't know. You should have did it when you was like in your 20s.
Yeah, it's almost like taboo or like a cliche, like you haven't done it yet.
I
Like
think,
everybody's done it.
I think the problem with threesomes now is that people don't know how to keep their mouth shut. And all it takes is for one person in that whole little thing you got going on to run their mouth. Yeah, to run the, you know what I mean? Somebody in situations like that these days do not keep their mouth shut. They have to tell somebody, and it just keeps, it keeps going.
Do you think that's why older people don't, I don't want to say older people, because I feel like my daughter be like, you older. What you mean?
Well, we older. My daughter told me I'm old and short, so okay.
But I mean, older doesn't have a specific definition.
Experience
So
level.
Yeah.
our parents are older, and our grandparents, if they're still alive, are older than them. So older is not specified by one age group. So fuck it, older it is. Shit.
But okay, so you feel like okay, so Z, I'm gonna ask you this: do you feel like the woman that you would deal with has to have done all that before you be like, oh, she's experienced with life, or do you feel like she could be somebody?
Has to have done all what?
Done all her fantasies, maybe fulfilled all the fantasies that she's wanted to fulfill before she's got with you.
No, because sometimes fantasies are just that. It's a fantasy, so it's something that may never be fulfilled. And I mean, it ain't nothing that you just like, oh man, if I don't do this, I can't get married. No, some shit is like, well, I never got to fly over the Grand Canyon. Oh well, you still got to keep living. So
right,
it is what it is.
Right. Okay. So you don't feel like she has to have fulfilled all her fantasies before. Okay.
No.
So B, I know you had other questions. I don't want to all your questions out because
No, I think I got them all out pretty much. I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think I guess my last question would be at the age we're at now, what if somebody came to us with a wild ass fantasy? Oh, let me say, what if somebody came to you? I want to say us, like we the threesome, because that's
like no.
Anyway. But individually, if somebody came to you and they were like, hey, I want to do this, whatever this thing is that is their wildest fantasy, would you be like, cool, I already did that before, no big deal? Or if you haven't done it before, would you be like, you know what, that is actually on my bucket list anyway, so let's go ahead and do that?
Yeah. I would.
Yeah.
If they came to me and like, hey, let's do this, and this sounds outlandish, but it doesn't sound like I'm gonna end up in the ER. I mean, yeah, we're gonna try it.
Okay,
I've got good insurance, but I prefer not to do it. So I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. So for me, I'll probably look at everything as like, right. I'll probably think of wild. If he came to me with like some kind of wild ass fantasy, that's how my facial expression right here is how it probably would be like, what? And I think I probably freeze that frame right there. Like, I'm not sure if I can fulfill that for you.
Why? You said it ain't in the hospital. Fuck you gonna do it? You don't know.
Well, I'm saying, okay, I'm saying this. If he's like, he wants to introduce another woman into it, although that is, he hopped off again. Although that is one of my, like, yeah, she can do that. There's also the territorial side of myself where it's like, I will beat the bitch lifeless.
I mean, when it comes to that, I'll say, yeah, my territorial side, like...
The territorial side, so the fantasy part of it might not be too realistic in the case of real life. Like, if he's enjoying whatever you're doing too much, I'm gonna have a problem with it. I don't want to say I'm gonna be. And
then you're gonna get back to like, well, how long are you looking at this bitch? I will go down a whole fucking.
So
yeah, maybe.
Yeah. The reality side of it is, even if I said, hey, I want, and I'm making up a name, because for people who are listening, I always say Craig as in just some
imaginary.
I won't say magical. I don't want to say magical person, because I know some Craigs. But when I'm saying Craig, I'm not talking about the Craig I know. I'm talking about just a generalization. So, but if I'm saying Craig, I want Craig to be involved in this. How long you been knowing Craig, and you know, if this is even being entertained? No, like, I know the person I'm with now enough to know that shit ain't finna fly in my wildest dreams, nightmares, or anything. Yeah. But that's not even one of my fantasies. So the other thing would be, you know, like, okay, if it's a girl, if she my type, which I don't know what my type is, because that's a whole nother thing, but I feel like if I was on the flip side of it, I like pretty women. I don't like ugly women. And I don't know if that's bad to say or whatever, but if I was a dude, or if I was into that world, I think I would like pretty women, not bad shaped or whatever, you know, just natural pretty women. So if she's not fitting that build, then I would be like, no, she can't be a part of this. I don't want to look at her. But then at the same time, even if she wasn't my type, but then he was being pleased, I would be ready to have a brick in that moment. So like, I know massacre. I know scenarios can only go so far with me, because I know me. So the fantasy stuff, like Idris Elba coming in to snatch me up after a nasty breakup, or like, you know, that scenario where like you don't miss what you have until it's gone type of thing, and then this nigga is Idris Elba's level and whatever. I'm just trying to think of a celebrity, you know, like, to put it in the context of like a lot of women consider him a sex symbol, but Idris Elba comes in and Idris Elba is, you know, sweeping me off my feet, and it's like I've leveled up or whatever. But then I think about, I've seen some shit about Idris Elba where I'm like, I don't know, nigga, he got a thing about African American women or something like that I saw a while back, and I'm like, I don't know. I probably would have more issues with him. So it's almost like the grass ain't greener. So like for me, it's knowing like, yeah, that's a fantasy, a real life fantasy, because in real life, that shit ain't gonna play out the way it is. So my mind be like halfway fantasy, halfway like, bitch, you know motherfucking well. Right. This shit is not gonna fly. If so-and-so see you, first of all, if Idris Elba come in and he swooping me up, I'm like, what other bitches did you pass up to get to me? You know, was we already together? Well, what was going on where you found me? Because I ain't your type in terms of the Idris Elba types, at least what I think. So fantasies will only go so far. But
we won't go so far. So I think we probably should wrap it up because the street lights are coming on, and
I see
so
you about to be in the dark.
I'm about to be in the dark, but I wanted to talk about this topic and not be censored at all, be as loud as I want to be. So I drove home from the gym and then just sat in the car. So here we are. So until next time.
Next time. Okay. I know we talked about. I know what I want to talk about, but
we can let that be a surprise. We'll let that be a surprise. We'll let that be a surprise. I have a feeling that that's something we might need to pregame and talk about before we announce that.
We want the pregame, right?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
So we're gonna pregame it. So let's go ahead and wrap it up, like she said, because she know I'm finna get off into the incriminating territory. So we're not.
Let's just end this. Okay.
So we're gonna say, tune in next time. We're not gonna share what the show is this time because we got to discuss it. But tune in next time. Follow Dirty Pleasure Show, thedirtypleasureshow.com. And you can also find us on all of the social medias there if you go to that website. But definitely subscribe on YouTube to The Dirty Pleasure Show. I'm also one of the hosts and also the owner of Dirty Pleasure, not Dirty Pleasure Show. What is the name of it? Dirty Words Apparel. And it says it right there. I don't know why I didn't even just read that. I'm also the host, the owner of Dirty Words Apparel. And you can find me on social media with Dirty Words Apparel, pretty much everywhere. Go ahead, Brandy. Do your outro.
Well, I'm Brandy, and I am the owner of the Pleasure Palace, and I'm co-host of the Dirty Pleasure Show. And while I was thinking while you was talking, I think our audience should write in anonymously, or if you can put your name, I don't care. Inbox us your dirtiest fantasy, and whoever wins, I have an item for them. Then we can start getting some ideas off of them fantasies.
Oh, okay. So to reiterate, we want you all to how can they DM us anonymously? How does that work?
They can DM us on the Facebook page.
Anonymously?
Well, I mean, we will know who did it, but you have our confidentiality
Okay, so they
just let us know if you want it anonymous, and we will keep it anonymous.
Okay, so if you want to share your handle name with the audience when you talk about whatever your wildest fantasy is, you can. Otherwise, we will keep it anonymous, and we will share that on the next. Well, we will share that among the other topics that we discussed because, a lot of people aren't going to see this until when? Probably sometime in July. The way our release schedule goes. Who knows when you're going to see it? So what we wanna do is get those. We'll probably even put a post out now about it. And just kind of say, hey, those of you I want to enter into this contest. I don't know. We just came up with this shit on the fly. So what we're not going to do is strategize on camera. We'll strategize behind the scenes and figure out what's what with that. Because it's getting dark as shit real fast. So you're starting to get beige now. You real light like me. Exactly. Yeah. So we will go ahead and end it. Again, follow us on all social media. Go to the website, thedirtypleasureshow.com, where you can find all our social media links and all that good stuff. Everybody, we are out. I'm Jamie Marie Poetry, and I've got my host with me, BK Pleasure Palace, a.k.a. Brandy.
Yep.
It's your girl, Jamie Reed Poetry, host of The Dirty Pleasure Show with The Dirty Pleasure Show. Now we are live. You can go to the store and be sure to unlock the 10% discount when you subscribe to the newsletter. We've got a catalog full of goodies for you. We've got 2 bundles that you want to check out, the Hot Auntie Starter Kit as well as the Dirty Bag Swag. We've got a little bit of something for everybody on this website. You can also find our social media links and how to connect with us, as well as if you want to be a guest on the show. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel because season 3, if you're seeing this and hearing this, season 3 is right now. So be sure to go to the Dirty Pleasure Show and check out some information about myself, J. Marie Poetry. But you can also get a little bit more detail there and understand a little bit more about maybe stuff I hadn't said. But you can definitely see us on the YouTube channel. You can also see us little snippets here and there on the website, and then you can click on the Hear Us tab. We're on all platforms, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and Spotify, just to name a few. Be sure to go to thedirtypleasureshow.com. Now enjoy the show. Let's get dirty.